In a moment of confusion and need, Queen Ama faced a tough decision. She had to choose between her pride and her son's future. Feeling torn inside, she thought, "Do I give up my dignity for help?" But the thought of her son becoming king was too tempting to resist. With a heavy heart, Queen Ama agreed to the healer's request, hoping it would secure her son's destiny. She whispered, "All right, I'll do it," trying to hide her inner turmoil. Walking to the healer's room, fear crept over her. "What am I doing?" she questioned herself, her steps slowing down. But thoughts of her son's future pushed her forward, drowning out her doubts. As Queen Ama stepped into the dimly lit chamber, her heart raced with nervousness. The healer, surrounded by mystery, looked at her with a knowing gaze that made her shiver. "You've made the right choice," he said softly, his voice sounding mysterious and tempting. Even though Queen Ama felt unsure, she kept going, driven by the idea of gaining power and respect. Standing before the healer, she prepared herself for whatever might happen next, knowing that things could get dangerous and uncertain. Throughout the night, Queen Ama faced a difficult decision that would impact Okuku Village's future. She wondered if she had done the right thing, or if she had only made things worse for her son. When Queen Ama returned home, she eagerly approached Prince Toby with the charm from the native doctor. "Toby, my son," she said with a determined gleam in her eyes. "This charm will ensure that the crown sits firmly on your head this time, and you will be crowned king." Toby, weary of his mother's schemes, sighed heavily. "I'm tired of all these charms, mother," he replied, his voice tinged with frustration. "They never work." But Queen Ama was relentless in her persuasion. "Trust me, Toby," she urged, her voice pleading. "This time will be different. With this charm, you will finally claim the throne that is rightfully yours." After much persuasion, Toby reluctantly agreed, though doubt lingered in his mind. Despite his reservations, the allure of becoming king proved too tempting to resist, and he submitted to his mother's wishes. As the days dragged on, Prince Femi's absence weighed heavily on the kingdom, leaving a sense of unease in its wake. Despite the uncertainty looming over Okuku Village, Queen Ama persisted in her devious plots, determined to see her ambitions realized. With each passing day, Prince Toby's restlessness grew, his mind clouded with doubts about Queen Ama's schemes. But the promise of power held him in its grip, pushing him reluctantly along the path she had laid out. Meanwhile, Queen Fatu anxiously watched events unfold, her heart heavy with concern for her son and the future of the kingdom. Though Prince Femi was far away on the battlefield, her unwavering faith in him fueled her determination to thwart Queen Ama's treacherous plans upon his return. In the room filled with tension, the elders gathered again, looking serious. They tried to put the crown on Toby's head, but it just wouldn't stay. They tried and tried, but nothing worked. Everyone was puzzled and getting upset. Just as they were about to try again, Prince Femi burst into the room, looking strong and alive. Queen Fatu couldn't contain her happiness at seeing her son back from battle, safe and sound. As Femi walked into the room, everyone turned to look at him. Queen Ama, who had been acting confident, suddenly looked worried. Femi looked around, puzzled. "What's happening here?" he asked loudly. The elders, surprised by Femi's sudden arrival and feeling intimidated by his strong presence, started blaming each other nervously, trying to explain. They didn't want to upset Femi or make him angry. Queen Fatu tried to act calm. "It's nothing, my son," she said, trying to sound reassuring. But Femi could tell something was wrong. He could feel the tension in the air, and he knew there was more to the story. As the tension mounted in the chamber, one of the elders stepped forward, his voice trembling as he explained their misguided decision. We thought you were lost in battle, Femi," he stammered, his eyes downcast with shame. Femi's shock quickly turned to anger, his fists clenched in frustration. "How dare you assume such a thing without confirmation?" he exclaimed. Before Femi could respond further, Queen Amma interjected, her tone dripping with disdain. "What's wrong, Femi? If Toby cried first, he should rightfully be king. Your father's favoritism blinded him to the truth," she accused, her words laced with bitterness. Unable to contain her own frustration, Queen Fatu shot back at Queen Amma, her voice tinged with irritation. "Enough, Amma. Your petty grievances have no place here," she retorted, her eyes flashing with defiance. As the two queens exchanged heated words, Femi's patience wore thin. "That's enough," he declared, his tone commanding. "Leave us," he instructed, his voice brooking no argument. Reluctantly, the others dispersed, leaving Femi and Queen Fatu alone to address the situation in privacy. The next day, Queen Amma was really angry when she stormed into the native doctor's house. She demanded to know why he lied about the charm for making Toby king. The native doctor didn't seem bothered by her yelling. He just looked at her seriously and asked if she thought he was wrong. He said he gave her what she wanted, so why was she blaming him now? Queen Amma got even more frustrated. She reminded him that he promised her power, but the native doctor didn't back down. He told her power comes with a price and warned her not to doubt him, or she might go crazy. Feeling defeated and sad, Queen Amma left the native doctor's house. She felt really bad because things didn't turn out like she hoped. As she walked away, she wondered what would happen next because of her decisions. As Queen Amma got back home, she couldn't shake off her worries. "There has to be another way," she whispered to herself, feeling more determined than ever. "I won't give up," she exclaimed, her voice echoing in the room. Despite the setback with the native doctor, she refused to back down. She knew she had to find a way to secure her son's position as king. With fresh energy, Queen Amma started brainstorming, her mind buzzing with ideas. She was determined to outsmart her rivals and make sure her son became king. As she worked late into the night, a spark of hope flickered inside her, driving her forward towards her goal. "I can't let Fatu and her son take away what rightfully belongs to me and my son," she thought. "I must do something fast." Queen Amma, determined to secure her son's place as king, hatched a devious plan with one of the village's most wicked elders. They spread a nasty rumor that Queen Fatu was having a secret affair with a native doctor from a neighboring village. They thought this lie would ruin Queen Fatu's reputation and make people doubt her loyalty to Okuku village. When the native doctor heard about the rumor, he was furious. He knew it wasn't true and warned Queen Amma to stop spreading lies. "Stay away from Queen Fatu," he warned, "or you'll face the consequences." He even went to the villagers and told them that Queen Amma was lying. But Queen Fatu, wise and strong, didn't fall for their tricks. She stood tall and defended herself against the false accusations. She showed everyone that the elder and Queen Amma were trying to cause trouble. Even though they tried to tarnish Queen Fatu's name, their plan backfired. The villagers saw through the lies and realized that Queen Fatu was honest and loyal to their village. Queen Amma learned that she couldn't outsmart Queen Fatu, no matter how hard she tried. Queen Amma, undeterred by her previous failures, concocted yet another scheme to undermine Prince Femi. She approached a young village girl and promised her that if she could win Prince Femi's heart, her son would marry her once he became king. The girl, thrilled by the prospect of becoming a queen, eagerly agreed to Queen Ama's plan. Filled with anticipation, Queen Ama arranged for the girl to meet Prince Femi under the guise of a chance encounter. However, when the moment arrived, Prince Femi disappointed their expectations. He treated the girl with kindness and respect, but he didn't show any romantic interest. He saw through the scheme and refused to play along with Queen Ama's deceitful plan. Despite Queen Ama's efforts to manipulate Prince Femi, he remained true to himself and his principles. He refused to be swayed by her underhanded tactics, proving himself to be honorable and wise beyond his years. Queen Ama learned that she couldn't control Prince Femi or bend him to her will, no matter how hard she tried. On the day of the coronation, Okuku village bustled with excitement as villagers adorned the streets with colorful banners and decorations. Everyone eagerly awaited the crowning of their new king. Queen Ama, driven by her thirst for power, anxiously watched the preparations. This was her chance to secure her son's reign and leave a mark on history. Meanwhile, Prince Femi remained steadfast and resolute, readying himself for the day ahead. Despite facing challenges, he was determined to uphold justice and honor. As the villagers gathered in the grand square, the air buzzed with anticipation. The elders, in their ceremonial robes, stood ready to officiate the coronation. With solemnity, the ceremony began, invoking blessings for the new king and praying for peace and prosperity. Queen Ama's heart raced with anticipation. This was the pinnacle of her quest for power. But as the moment of coronation neared, a whisper rippled through the crowd. Something was wrong. The royal crown shimmered strangely, casting doubt on the proceedings. Unseen by the villagers, the spirits of ancestors watched. Their presence was felt in the gentle breeze, warning of impending trouble. Amidst the excitement and fancy ceremonies of the coronation, something totally unexpected happened that left everyone shocked. While the elders were trying to crown Prince Femi, Prince Toby suddenly grabbed the crown and plopped it on his own head. The whole village gasped in surprise as Prince Toby did something totally crazy. Suddenly, he looked different, like he wasn't himself anymore. His eyes seemed wild, and everyone felt a bit scared. Queen Ama felt her heart sink as she realized what was happening to her son. Despite all her efforts to gain power, she couldn't do anything to help him. She just watched in sadness as Toby's mind slipped away. The villagers were stunned into silence, not knowing what to do. Toby's laughter, now sounding crazy, filled the air, making everyone feel uneasy. In the midst of all the chaos, Prince Femi, now the new king, stepped forward. He looked serious and sad as he approached his brother. It was like he carried the weight of the whole village on his shoulders. With gentle hands, Prince Femi reached out to Toby, begging him to come back to his senses. But Toby was lost in his madness, not able to hear reason anymore. As the sun set, casting long shadows over the village, everyone was left wondering what would happen next. It was a scary reminder of how easily things can go wrong, even in the quest for power. We have come to the end of this captivating tale. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to this channel. The next video promises to be even more captivating, interesting, and emotional, leaving you asking for more. Stay tuned for the next installment.